An interesting last 2 seconds there, insinuating that everyone's job is up for grabs at this point in the Giants' very woeful season. Ray, is it time for the Giants to start fresh and move on from Eli Manning?
Well, I think it's time for the Giants to do a total makeover. They have to figure it out. I think you hear Ben McAdoo, he says it first, right, that he must look at his job first, right? And definitely after a beating like that yesterday.
Yeah.
There was a screenplay yesterday, CC, that Todd Gurley made. And I'm looking at the effort of the guys running behind him. And by the time he got in the end zone and almost dove in the end zone, I'm saying to myself, who's the leader of that team? And so now if you flip it back to Eli, I think now it's time for the Giants to figure out, are we going to go with a young Odell Beckham, re-sign Odell Beckham, go get a young quarterback and let him grow? Or are we going to bring Eli back to say, okay, Odell, work with Eli and let's fix some pieces around it and see what that looks like? Sooner or later, every team has to go through it.
Well, which one? Which scenario is more likely for the way the Giants are playing now?
I think that's a scenario that, honestly, this offseason is going to, I think it's going to hit the ceiling because somebody has to make a decision. Odell is asking for a contract, like right now, right? Eli is kind of on that backside of
he's got 2 years left on his contract.
2 years left on his contract. So now you got to act. As an organization, if you're looking for Collins on the other side, you're saying, wait a minute, I got a young star on the defensive side of the ball, so let me find a way to create and put other pieces around him. But what do we do on the offensive side of the ball with Odell and Eli? And I think, honestly, somebody's going to have to make a tough decision. Either we let Eli go and bring a young quarterback in, or either we ride Eli out and say, how many more years will we have with Eli and Odell doing this together?
Listen, Eli was a part of those 2 great playoff runs.
Yeah.
But Eli, as far as just, being an elite, productive passer in the regular season,
it's not that.
It's never been that.
Not that.
It's not like, oh, wow, Eli fell off a cliff.
Right.
It looked like Eli fell off a cliff 4 years ago. The year that he had 27 touchdowns and 18 interceptions, last in the NFL in passer rating. What happened the next year? They drafted Odell Beckham, and his career had a mild resurgence. They made Ben McAdoo the offensive coordinator. They then made Ben McAdoo the head coach. Yeah. And now it's all fallen apart. Part of that is Odell being gone. Part of that is Eli deteriorating. Part of that might be that Ben McAdoo got promoted 1 job above where he should be. But I don't think they're going to fire the head coach. We know they're bringing back Odell and going to give him the deal. The owner has said as much. The one major change you can make is the quarterback. They're going to have a top pick. Whether they want to use that pick on the quarterback or if they want to use the last few games, see if Davis Webb, who they drafted in the 3rd round, has any answers, that's up to them. But I would be shopping Eli Manning this offseason, seeing if Jacksonville, with Tom Coughlin, wants him, seeing if Denver wants to try, Manning Part 2. Same thing they did.
He's better than all the quarterbacks in Denver.
Right now he's better than all those quarterbacks in Denver. And so see what they can do, because I don't think a universe exists where the New York Giants, with Eli Manning as their quarterback, have another deep playoff run in them moving forward. So then you got to figure out, how do you most graciously exit yourself from one of the greatest players, one of the most prolific players in the history of your franchise?
I go to him. If I can't make the trade, you mentioned Jacksonville, you mentioned Denver. Also, I would look at Arizona, where Bruce Arians and Steve Keim, the general manager, because they're in business. Carson Palmer is probably going to be his last year, so they would be looking for a veteran. But also, I tell Eli, man, you got to give some of that money back. Yeah,
if you want to stay.
No, if you want to stay here, I need a reduction in your salary, like a lot of veteran quarterbacks have done. Also, your play has suffered, and there's not a whole bunch of openings out there for Eli to have some type of leverage.
So do you have that conversation with him?
Absolutely, man. I don't have no problem with it. Right. Invite him to my office in the building across the street. I'll tell him myself. This is the way it's going to happen. Now, I'm going to give you a salary reduction for these next 2 years. If you want to play 2 more years with the Giants, that's fine by me. If you decide not, then I'm going to be actively shop you this offseason.
Yeah. But as a team, though, with him playing the way he's playing right now, do you take
Listen, I like Eli.
Yeah.
Eli is not a great leader of a football team. Eli might be a good guy, might be able to lead the offense, but this team has been off the rails for a few years as far as their overall discipline, their overall leadership.
Yeah.
Like, Odell respects Eli, but he don't listen to him. And there's a difference between the two.
It's a big difference.
So for me, I'm going for a reduction. That's what I'm going to offer him as a courtesy, because you brought us 2 Super Bowls. I'm going to give you a reduction in salary from Jerry Reese. You don't want to take that, then we're actively going to shop you. We're going to be picking. I mean, the Browns in San Francisco, 0-8, 0-9.
Right, and they play San Francisco this week.
Yeah, you got a top 5 pick. So there's
Ray,
a quarterback sitting there waiting on you.
We weren't having this conversation day one of the season when we were all getting ready to pick teams. I mean, you thought they were a decent team. You had them going to the Super Bowl. We all had them at least at the top, somewhere near the top of their division. They were coming off a great season last year. They had a defense that they put a lot of time and money and energy into trying to get that defense right. They had Odell Beckham back. Like, everyone thought this was going to be a very big, promising year. Is that all Eli's fault? Is Eli the one guy you have to switch out and everything is better?
I don't think everyone thought the Giants were going to have a big year.
Yeah, I didn't.
Nick Wright.
I didn't. Nick Wright did. I didn't.
Okay, go ahead.
No,
I'll wait. I'll take that. I'll take that. Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
Prognosticators.
Well, from the offensive side, you're absolutely correct. It's Eli Manning. But from the defensive side, what I saw yesterday, I'm telling you, Landon Collins has to figure out. He has to go in there and sit down and watch film and look at the guys that he wants to play with. Because I watched guys yesterday on that football field yesterday.
Yes.
After putting up 51 points, it's certain people I'm not playing with playing like that.
There was a couple plays with the effort.
Man, the 3rd and 33 was an embarrassment.
That was.
Yeah, they ran a jailbreak screen. And looked like they was playing two-man touch.
I want you to, if anybody do anything, go back and look at a couple of plays.
Yes.
And I just want you to watch the pursuit of what the defense supposed to look like and never looked like yesterday. So I think it's a much bigger fix.
Well, so let me. A lot of the commentary yesterday after the game was that the defense was quitting on plays, and that's an indictment of the respect for the head coach. We're out here talking about Eli because it's you played on defenses. That didn't. Hold up. This is not my commentary. I want
Where'd
this.
You get it from?
What? I want this.
You brought it up.
Correct. This is. I'll show you the articles. I'll show you what. But it was a lot of people were saying that's a team that's quit on their head coach. If not to throw anyone under the bus, but my guy Rodney Harrison said it on TV last night. That's a guy. That's a team that's quit on their coach.
Yeah.
Is that?
There's people on TV don't know what they're talking about too.
Agreed. But I'm asking Ray as a defensive player, when you see that lack of effort. Is that always an indictment on the coach, or is that just an easy thing people say?
If you're the leader on that defense and you're Landon Collins, you're having a separate meeting from the offense today. And all you're doing is running the film. That's it. Because that right there, what you put on film, is simple. Either you want to play or you don't. And yesterday is a bunch of guys did not want to play.
Man, we ain't out there playing for the head coach.
Yeah,
I'm out there playing for my family. I'm out there playing for my safety. I'm out there playing for my brothers. I ain't playing for no head coach. You think he calling plays for my job? You think he going home at night thinking, I wonder how Cris and his family doing? No, they don't think that way. I'm out here playing for my brothers who I have made a commitment to. I'm going to give you my absolute best. And when I don't do that, I'm accountable to you.
You better tell me.
You can come talk to me. Forget McAdoo. Ain't nobody playing for no head coach. That's stupidity.
When I go home, I think about your family. Just want to make sure they're okay.
Well, Jenna, you
Ray,
it'd probably be a great career move, Jenna.
You're welcome, Ray. Take that, do that move. Ray, thank you so much for joining us, as always.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.